In this live martial arts training video, you're going to discover the best things that you can do with your walking cane for self-defense. I'm going to show you all the self-defense techniques with the walking cane, self-defense cane, martial arts cane, whatever you call your cane fu, fighting cane. Cane fu, that's another term. Cane fu, combat cane, hapkido cane, combat spinning. Just trying to throw them all in there. This is the actual Cane Masters cane, and I'm going to show you. I have a new Cane Masters page. The link is below, and I have two of the canes that are on there. This was my favorite. This is my everyday carry cane, and this thing is extremely, it's just devastating. It's a fast, powerful, hard-hitting. It's got the teardrop, shattering the bones. I mean, it's a very hard, very effective, powerful self-defense tool you can carry with you anywhere you go. You can see the eyeballs there. It makes it look a little bit mean, but it's got this point there. Stick that in there, rake that across the face for self-defense. We're going to talk about the techniques in a minute, but I wanted to show you, this is what an everyday carry cane might look like. You could also use this for everyday carry, but this one is designed, this is the dojo cane. This is the training cane. Whether you train in a dojo or not, you don't have to be officially in a dojo to train. But this is the one that you carry. It's all pretty. You can take it anywhere and everywhere you go. This is legal. Take it on a plane, take it into the bus station, onto the bus, in the train station. The guy gets up, he's coming at you, just very quickly, very hard, very fast. You're able to immediately defend yourself with these techniques that we're going to talk about. But this is what it looks like when you have one that you can carry with you. That's on the link below. If you want to see what this looks like price-wise, go check that out. That one's made out of oak. It's got a lot of fancy features. It's got that the paracord, so it doesn't come flying out of your hand. But this is the one that you use every day to train with. This is the dojo training cane, the combat cane. That's also in the link below. Start with the cane in one of your hands. You're going to crank it around. You're going to twist. And this is just to build that callus in your hand, to get your heart rate up a little bit, to improve your core strength, and to develop proprioception or spatial awareness. You want to get a good feeling for where your cane is at all times, how it moves through space and time. So this is kind of a cross training for your cane. As you come across your body, you're turning your hand over and back, and you're starting to increase the speed just by turning a little bit faster. Now, you're going to see that my hand is closed, but I'm not squeezing so hard that it keeps it from going through my hand, slipping through the hand, so that I can do this spinning move. And again, you can use this for self-defense. If you look, if this is the threat, and let me turn the camera a little bit so you can see just a little bit better what I'm doing when I'm hitting it. So let's say this bag here is the threat, and I have my cane up, and I'm spinning it in front of my body. You can strike coming through, and then using that back, you can also strike. I prefer to be in this position, to be waiting, and then I'm going to come in with a harder, faster strike. It's more deliberate, more explosive, and can be timed for me a little bit better. But that's not to say that this is wrong for self-defense. I'm just saying that I don't use it that way, but I do spin a lot, and I want you to spin a lot with me too. And the reason is it develops that callus in your hand, and it improves everything. It's cross, it's like jumping the rope if you're a boxer. So you're going back and forth, stomach up and in, abs tight, breathe through your nose, get the other hand up so you don't hit it, but you also want to get in the habit of fighting from behind your guard, and then put it into the other hand, and it's the same thing. You're just kind of cranking forward, turning it around, turning it over, increasing the speed just a little at a time as you get better at it. This is that oak cane, so it's a little bit heavier, but my hands are really getting used to this. It's a good feel for me now. And it's a step up, it's a challenge. It's a little bit heavier. I'm starting to play around now with how can I incrementally increase the weight so that I can develop more speed, more power in the strikes. But I haven't even reached the limit yet. I'm still getting better with this oak cane. This is that oak, and really inexpensive too. This is why I like this so much. And it's designed to take a beating in your workouts, whether you're working on the dojo or not. This is going to allow you to practice all your techniques of self-defense and not, damage your everyday walking cane. So after you've done that spinning warm-up on both hands, we're going to talk right away about how you develop basic techniques for self-defense using a walking cane. The first one is starting with the hook or the crook, this part here, facing away from you or facing the threat. From now on, you're going to start to think about the threat. And in this case, it's going to be a single threat. Let's say they have a knife or a water bottle, a frozen water bottle, maybe a skateboard, or they're throwing a punch, trying to grab, trying to kick. And you're able to, because you brought this up, this was a great point the other day. You said, what if you're not able to lift this up without falling over? And the answer is you're not able to lift it up without falling over. There are a lot of things, everything that I do standing, I can also do from a seated position. Now, one of the solutions that I've seen, and the guys from, the British guys, Sons of Cain, C-A-N-E, Sons of Cain. Those guys, there's one of the instructors there on that channel. It's a great channel, by the way. Go check it out. He shows you, he is in a wheelchair. He doesn't have that mobility. He needs 2 canes to ambulate throughout the day. So he shows you the answer for him is 2 canes. 1 cane here, 1 cane here. He can strike here, he can strike here. They're big proponents on that channel of the combat spinning. They love that spin. So he'll be holding on to 1 cane and he'll be working with the other cane. So that's just one answer that I found so far, because I said I was going to look. I was going to start to research. I was going to talk to people smarter than me who have more experience and say what happens if you are not able to, with a single cane, get in this fighting position because your legs, your body just isn't able to support it right now. And the answer so far, one great answer, is 2 canes. And so these are 2 canes, right? This is my everyday carry cane. It's about 180 bucks. But this one, this is under 50 bucks. You get 2 of these, that might be the solution that you're looking for. So I just wanted to throw that out there. Now, back to the basic self-defense techniques, because this is self-defense with walking cane. You're going to face this toward the threat. This will be our threat, our first threat right here, this bag. And think of this as his lower section. Think of this specifically as his private part. You're going to bring this straight up and in. It's a very explosive move. This is facing the threat, and it's just as simple as that. From here to here. I love to say immediate, direct, and explosive. All your self-defense, when we talk about principles over techniques. All the techniques should be immediate, be able to done like now. Go first, right? Especially they pull a knife, the time to go is now. Hello, it's good to see you. But you want to be able to immediately respond to the threat. Immediate, direct, straight in, and explosive. And it doesn't get much more explosive than this, because if you think about where you're the strongest, you're very strong lifting your hand from here to here, because you lift things all day. You're picking up the dishes from the table. You're picking up your books to throw on your back. No matter what your mobility is, unless you have an injury there, you have a lot of strength there. And this, because it's a short move from here to here, and I'm moving in 2 different directions, right? Or I have 2 pivot points. I have my elbow that's coming up, but I also have my wrist that's coming up. And when you have those 2 coming and working at the same time, everything increases speed exponentially. So from here to here, that's just a very explosive, very fast self-defense technique. So I want you to practice that first. Point your hook at the threat and practice. Now, if you don't have something to hit, do it in the air. That's just as good. From here, put your weight on a little bit, and then bring it off and come straight up. Practice that, and then a little bit faster, and a little bit faster, a little bit more explosive. When you practice self-defense, you always want to get to the point after a few strikes that you're now starting to work really, yes, we're going to talk about that, really very quickly, right? We'll get in a closed room. I'll show you, but we'll make it look like a closed room. So this very quick, explosive move coming straight up, faster I do it, the more pressure, it's putting on my hand, right? It wants to come out of my hand now. And you need to feel that in practice, in training, before you have to do it in real life. You don't want the first time you have an explosive motion where you're going full speed, that to be too much for your hand and you lose your cane, and then you're in big trouble. So from here, practice explosively, coming straight up in the middle. And then I want you to add a second strike from this position. We're talking about self-defense techniques with your walking cane. This is the second one. From here, it's facing out, the hook's facing out. We talked about that, straight up the middle, right between the groin, right in the crotch, and then up and straight across their body. Maybe they're reaching out to stab with a knife, striking the hand out of the way, or maybe they're coming in to grab or punch or hit you with that skateboard or that frozen water bottle, and you just bring that up and through anything and everything that you can strike. And it's very powerful. This one goes into the thing that puts them down, that comes through, maybe knocks them out, maybe just smashes their arm, breaks that bone. As the man always likes to say, the wood seeks flesh, the cane seeks bone. I always get that wrong. That's why the man says it, I don't say it. The cane seeks bone to break, to crush, and that's what that is. So from here, this technique, there's not a lot of bone, there's bone there, right? But you're gonna smash something else that puts them down. You bring this up and through. Now the third one in this series, with this part facing out, here, coming through, you're gonna take your other hand and put it in the front. And now you have a very strong, think of a side handle baton for the military police or for the regular police department. That PR-24, the side handle baton, some of you have seen them, and the police carries it like this. This is the push, this is the jab, the front hand directs it, and I'm gonna go straight through the target. So now for self-defense, 1, 2, 3, just driving straight in. Like we said before, if you had 2 canes, then you would modify. If you use 2 canes to get around, the first one goes up, the second one comes through, maybe you hit them on this side. Maybe you just lift and push. You're still gonna have a lot of power striking with just one hand. If you only have one good hand to use, thank you, then you just, boom, you use the one hand. That's what I was saying today. We're doing the nunchucks. And the student asked, we were doing one of my favorite drills is to throw balls at each other, tennis balls, and smash them out of the air with the nunchucks, like Bruce Lee, in those playing ping pong. That's not a real thing though. That was all cameras and computers. But that idea, that's really fun, right? Works on accuracy, eye-hand coordination, and you have to exhale when you strike, just like in any self-defense, or you're never gonna hit it. You won't be fast enough. So we start to do that. You know who told? Yeah, Keith Melton. This is a Cane Masters cane. So if you go to the link below, I said you can get these canes here. That'll take you to my page on Cane Masters website, and you'll see the ones that I think are the best ones for you to start with. And I could be wrong, and then if you want something else, just contact me directly and I'll help you do that. But Keith Melton, who is the master of the canes, he's the Cane Masters guy. It was started by Grandmaster Mark Shuey, and he passed it on to Keith Melton. So Keith Melton, who is a master in his own right, he's a 70-plus-year-old guy who looks like he's 30, when he's working out because he's in such great shape. But he said to me, teach him this, and that's why I'm teaching you now. So I'm telling you, I don't make any of this stuff up. I just learn from smarter people than me. He said, tell him to carry it like this. He said 2 things will happen. 1, all of a sudden, they'll look like they know what they're doing with the cane. He says, when you see someone with that out, that shows that they have some training. Number 2, it's ergonomically in a better position. The way it comes down, it becomes an extension of the body. And I tried it and I thought, he's right. I mean, I knew he was right when he started speaking because he knows more than I do, right? But from here, and you just try it like that, and you immediately feel it goes in a better position. You have a lot more control. It's a lot more balanced. And that's when he said, and his cane come flying at me, and I backed up real quick. I knew he wasn't going to hit me because he's got great self-control, but it just immediately made his point. Immediately made the point. And that's why I started saying, do this. And that's where I want to start with, right? And I'm still going to show all the other things that I like to do with the cane, especially these techniques. Some of my favorite techniques are the most basic things that you can do. But I wanted to start with this because, if I find something really good, I'm going to pass it on as soon as I find it. So from here, 1, 2, support, and then you have that straight in. Now, I don't know if I don't think he and I talked about that third one, but, like I said, I'm a trained, years and years ago, I was a military policeman in the Marine Corps. I learned how to use the PR-24, the side handle baton. Got one over there in the corner. And started to teach others how to do it and train with it. And one of the best techniques, and they do this they do this against rioters and looters. And they all get online, and then they march. 1, 2, all the military policemen. And they're next to each other. And the purpose of this is that when the threat gets too close, it's just a quick, explosive, pushing jab. And that's what I want you to do for self-defense, to stay safe from a thug or a punk or, whatever it is. However you need to defend yourself. This is all about self-defense. However you need to, or whomever you need to defend yourself against. Whether it's one person, multiple people, someone with a knife, someone with the skateboards. I keep seeing the reports about the Antifa thugs and they get the skateboards or whatever. Whatever it is, right? And so now you have some options. You don't have to cower. You don't have to feel like your freedoms and your rights are being stripped away from you at the speed of light. Yes, welcome. I'm glad you're here. Yeah, for sure. Much better support. Good point. Good observation. So you have much better balance. It's a stronger position. And again, if you need to ambulate with 2, you need to get around with 2 canes, and that's your solution to being able to defend yourself. You now have the ability to support yourself better because the hook's facing out while you defend with that other one, right? Let's talk about more of those techniques. So still with the hook facing out, we have up, we have through, we have in this way. And I want you to practice that for 30 seconds every time you get your cane out for practice. 1, 2, and then 3. And either standing square or stepping in. And like I said before, all of these can be done also sitting in a chair. And I didn't bring the chair with me. I might grab it in a little bit because we're going to answer that question. What happens if you're in a confined space? You're stuck in a room and you don't have much room to go. What do? And then it becomes a matter of close quarters combat. I'm going to show you how to close quarters combat, CQB, with your cane, how to defend yourself, how to fight. And I think they're just as effective, if not more effective. And we're using the principles of self-defense. That's what works, not the techniques. Techniques will get you killed. Principles will save you every time. That's the saying in self-defense world, in the real self-defense world, whatever that is. But from this position, the second series of these strikes, and really these are going to be for closer combat. Let's say you are stuck in a small room. Is from this position, you're going to go into a better position because you have the ability to do so. You're doing the number 1, which is situational awareness. First part of self-defense, situational awareness. You're paying attention. You saw the threat. You don't feel comfortable. You pop it up in this position. That first series that we showed you, you're caught off guard. The guy's running up, or he's already in your space, or you misread the situation, and you just immediately respond. Once that knife comes out, you're not waiting. You're not going to try to talk him out of not closing the gap and lacerating everything in your body, your internal organs. You're not going to survive that. As soon as you realize the threat's there, you're going in. The second one is you were paying attention. You didn't feel something was right. You saw something wasn't right, didn't feel right, you were nervous, so you pulled it up into this position. So now you can walk in this position. This is not as threatening. This is least threatening. This is a little bit more, but it's really, I don't like to think about threatening because you're not really threatening, you're defending, and it's your human right to defend. And you're putting your hands up and your hands open and you're saying, back up, stop, don't come any closer, get away from me. And you have every right to say that. You're allowed to, yeah, exactly, you're right. Yeah, you see all the crossovers, right? That's why I say you already know everything you need to know, you just need to train a little bit. So your hands are here. You're in this position. Now this is what I want you to see, that the cane is between me and the threat. Let's say the big title bag back there, that's the threat. So between me and the threat is my cane. Now the basic rule here is that the wood doesn't bleed. He does produce that knife, you're going straight into his face, and you don't have to hit hard. You don't have to be super explosive and fast. This is enough at a medium speed, a medium power to smash their nose into their face, to force them back. just that much. It's not a soft touch, right? That's oak, that's hardwood. That in their face with any kind of speed, any kind of power, and you're going straight in. Remember I said this is a strong position for you? So is this. And your center line pushing away is usually pretty strong for most people. So from here, just going straight in, smashing everything, teeth down their throat, bloody the nose, eyes water, and if you need to, at an angle, crushing the throat. That's fatal. So if you don't need to, you don't do that one, right? But you don't always have a choice. Then hooking the head from the outside to the inside, a hook punch, right? Just like you would with your fist. But now you don't have to worry about your knuckles. You now have more speed, more power. So you're hooking this way. And then if it comes across this and anywhere in here, this is all soft tissue. Their face is like my face, you know, it's flesh. And there's bone under there, but you're going for all those nerves in the face, the eyes, the nose, the mouth, ripping the teeth out of their face, going through the neck, hitting all those nerves and just ripping. So you have this position to, and you're right, John. And most people, they think of it as a sign of weakness. And that causes them in their mind, when you have to use this to get around, you start to think, I don't want to walk with this thing. People are going to see me as weak, and not from an arrogant or ego thing, but from a real safety. I don't want to get jumped. I don't want to get injured. I don't want someone to pick on me. And I've heard these so many times from people, even this in the last 3 days, talking to 3 people, 2 on the phone and 1 in person, came down to pick up some canes, said to me, you know, people sometimes make the mistake, and he's not someone to mess with, right? And especially not now because he's got the better canes. But from this position, you're able to defend yourself very quickly. And then in your mind, you don't feel like such a victim. You don't feel like you're so vulnerable because now you have some choices and some options. So from here, just pops up. The basic rule is get the cane between you and the threat. And see how I interrupted your line of sight. So now you have to look around my cane to either hit me, stab me, punch me, see me in the face, try to intimidate me, try to take away my freedom, my right to move around. So from here, I just put this up. And I don't have to come at you. You might be coming at me. I might take a step back up. But I'm not going to take 50 steps back. And I don't want you to take 50 steps. I want you to train. I want you to train to take 1 step. And that's the better position. Here's the threat. Take that 1 step back. Just enough to put the cane between you and the threat. And if you're aggressive, a little bit more aggressive like I am in the personality department, you're probably going to want to take a step in. Because you understand that if you close that distance and you interrupt their line of sight, you've taken away even more of their attack. Now, and they might go to grab your cane, and that becomes a question, real important question. What happens when they grab my cane? Good, let them grab it. Because while they're holding on to it, you're going to twist. And you're going to turn the cane in a way that's going to take it out of their hand, or it's going to pull them down, and you're going to use the back end of it to strike right through their face. So if he grabs here, you turn here and push. If he grabs here, turn here and push. You allow him to grab here. From here, he's pulling in that direction, right? So when you turn this way, he's not trying to stop it from going this way. He's trying to pull it away out of your hand. So you put your other hand on it, you go with it, you turn it, and you bring all of the momentum of him pulling it in straight into his face, and then finish it for self-defense. That's a basic idea right there. Let's say he grabs it here. Same thing. You just grab here, turn, push down, and if his hand is here, it'll now be like this. You push down and then you push in. But it all works, and I'll show you all those different techniques. So we're in this position, cane, hook out, pop it up, step in or step back. Basic idea is the cane doesn't bleed. Put the cane between you and the threat. There's that first jabbing strike, that hooking strike, that hooking across using the actual, and look at that bevel right there, that part. Let me show you that on my everyday carry self-defense cane. This travels with me in the car. That's a little bit sharper, not sharp as in a knife, but that's a bigger point that's gonna dig in. The eyes are just to add a nice effect, make it look nice and pretty. This string is to keep it from coming out of my hand, gives me a better grip. This teardrop, see that teardrop? That's almost like the blade of a katana, like the dull blade of a Japanese sword. But what that does is that isolates all that speed and power and force that you're bringing into that strike now goes through there. And if this one seeks bone to break, then this one, yeah, exactly, you're right. This one really breaks bones because now, let's say if I generate, I don't know, I have no idea what even the right number is, but let's imagine 100 pounds of pressure. I know it's way more than that, like 1,000 probably. Let's say 1,000 pounds of pressure, and that strike from this one hitting the arm is going to break the arm, most likely, right? Because that's oak, and it's round. But look at this one. Can you see that teardrop? See that blade edge? That side's flat. It's kind of hard to show you that edge. There it is. That's the edge. So now instead of this big round part, all that force is coming and it's concentrated there. And it's not going to slice them open like a katana, but it's going to break everything inside for self-defense. This everyday carry cane, which is disguised as really nice, attractive, take it anywhere with you cane, does a lot of damage. That's my only point. All right, so here, think of this between, yeah, and the canes are down below. If you want to see what these actually cost, it's always invest your time first. Invest your time, then invest your money. If this becomes something you want to do, and you invest a little time in it, you get better and better at it, then invest a couple bucks. These are not expensive. So you'll see those in there in the link below. And there's probably 1-2 steps between this and the really nice cane. So you can get, and I would carry this every day. This is really good. So you're gonna pop this up, strike here, slice it back through here, and then we have these big slicing motions, which we're gonna save for the next video. Thank you so much.